too, but it is not octopi.
It comes up on here once a month.
We've had this conversation before a couple times.
Does it have to do something with like the root of the word, like if it's Greek versus Latin?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Miles.
40 miles.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I thought.
Mm.
And for that viewer who asked, like, what do we do as soon as we get off the shift? Well, I'm not sure what the others do, but I know I am going to go to sleep.
I sleep.
I'm going immediately to sleep.
There you have it.
Today, definitely. No, not this. I just didn't sleep before the watch.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody. I hope you have a good 4 to 8 watch.
Night, Aaron.
Night, Aaron.
40 miles. Good night, guys.
Good morning, 4 to 8. This is Danny.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Or
Danny.
evening.
Good morning.
Hi everyone, this is Carrie, your SCF for the 4 to 8 shift. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Carrie. All right, so I just got the handoff from the scientists on the previous watch, and it looks like we are exploring this area as we work to the south. And we're looking for hard substrate. It looks like we don't have any transects to do unless we get to some nice high hard rock. So it looks like we can keep following this path that the ship and the ROV are on, and we can explore. We're in off effort mode, so we can zoom and pan as we start to find things, and we've got tons of rockfish in the skate.
Long nose skate.
Miles, can you help me with my HiPAC web screen?
Yeah. Is your whole screen black?
No, it's just not refreshing.
stirring it
You
up.
need the colon at the end.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. And still an issue. All right, stand by, I'll restart survey.
I feel like I'm flying in an aquarium.
How you doing, Taylor Aaron? There's a lot of fish.
Yeah, taking note of it. Let's see.
My
Ooh.
ratfish! I feel a
Is
special
this a torpedo,
connection
Ray?
to it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty cool. I haven't
love
seen
the
one of those in a while.
speckles.
Want to give him a close-up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Electric ray. Torpedo Californica.
Oh, we were pushed in pretty good.
What's our depth?
I don't know. I don't have
200.
that screen
200,
up.
thank you.
We lost
well,
our...
Argus is 200, so Herc might be another 20, 25.
Our depth is 220.
220.
Decimal 5. The fish are just killing it.
So as we proceed down track, let's try to zigzag up and down this steeper area and hope to find good rock.
I'm trying to zoom there, but I think the fish have...
Yeah, they
Fish have
dusted them
wrecked it.
out.
So you want to move down the hill a little as we head to the south. So top of the hill is to my left and Down the hill to my right.
Well, let's go up first and then down.
Okay, so down takes us quite a bit to the east. I mean, up takes us quite a bit to the east.
Up is going to be northeast.
Correct, and I was informed where vessel's moving southeast.
All right, let's zig to the south. Let's zig downslope then.
Sorry. If I don't, I'll get run over. Seem to be, that's looking southeast, south-southeast.
I'm getting clued into our new rockfish species that we've come across on this watch. So I'm definitely seeing Picacio, and I'm told chili pepper, sharp chin. So we'll keep our eyes out and try and get focused in on the different species and characteristics.
So the scarp trends southeast, so you would have to go more south to go down slope here.
I would, is that what you want to do?
Yeah, make a bit of progress down slope and then a bit of progress up slope.
Copy. To go kind of southwest is downslope.
Southwest is straight down slope. We don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I'll just
It's more zig. That's a little bit more zig than I like.
Side hill down.
All right, Danny, give it a go now.
All right, I got it. Thank you.
People are feeling like they have their bearings and settled. I know Wayne always appreciates a quick hello from everyone to set volume, so if people can introduce themselves, that would be helpful.
Hi, this is Danny Lipsky. I'm the watch lead on the 4 to 8. I'm the research coordinator at Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary.
Hi, I'm Jenny Stock. I'm Sci 2. I'm the Education and Outreach Coordinator for Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary.
Good morning. I'm Taylor Ann, and I'm the Ocean Sciences intern and the data logger for this watch. And I'm currently a master's student at CSUN, Cal State University Northridge.
Hey, I'm Miles Saunders, navigator for the 4 to 8 watch.
Good morning, I'm Dan. I'm sitting in a Herc chair, piloting ROV through an aquarium this morning.
I'm Antonella Wilby, Argus pilot.
And this is Wayne, video engineer.
Okay, I'm all oriented at my... Oh, Carrie still has to go.
Oh, don't worry about it. I've said my name, but this is Carrie Roble. I'm the Science Communication Fellow, and I am the Director of Science and Stewardship at Hudson River Park in New York City.
Okay, I was just going to say I've got myself oriented on the dive plan and on the map now, and I see that we're heading south. We're approaching the end of this leg of the transect. After that, we can take it takes a sharp turn to the east, and we seem to be on this thin band of high slope. Is that what I'm looking at in the background?
Yeah,
slope.
that's slope. And
yeah, slope map.
This is a fault scarp.
A fault scar.
Scarp. We have strike slip faulting in this area. So the main motion is going to be the northern half is moving south relative to the southern half, or well, the northwestern side is moving south relative to the southeastern side. But there's also a bit of uplift on these strike slip faults, and so we end up with a scarp that, in this case, is high on the northeast side.
Is that just where sediment raises up a little bit and kind of makes a little bit of a mound because of that action?
No, the
Quick
whole,
zoom there,
the
Wayne,
whole
where the fish dusted.
crust.
Okay.
These faults cut through the crust, so it's actually
Sweet.
uplifted of the
Ah,
bedrock.
cool.
Unfortunately, it's buried in
Okay, moving on.
buried in
Okay,
sand
coming right.
along most of its length here, it looks like. And the faulting is chopped up the rock quite a bit too. But I'm hoping if we get to the kind of the top, and again, we'll see maybe a bit of the bedrock outcropping.
Yeah, so if I turn and look northeast, that's uphill. Oh, sorry, northwest. You know I get those backwards. No, northeast.
Yeah, northeast is up.
Northeast is up. Yeah, I've zigged. I guess I can zag up the hill a bit.
And welcome to all the people that are tuning in. A fun part of doing watch at this time is there's so many people from different parts of the world listening in. So hi everyone, thanks for tuning in from Finland and Greece and Italy and the Netherlands, South Africa, Canada, Switzerland, Australia, Germany, United Kingdom, and the US. Maybe some of my fam in the UK
Quick
and
zoom there, Wayne.
is
Sure.
on. If so, hi fam.
Someone left their pistachios.
Can you tell us a little bit about this bivalve or mollusk?
This is a brachiopod. I'll try and find out some more about them.
They look like filter feeders.
Yes.
Opening up their two shells to feed on this marine snow or plankton and other small critters. Ooh.
Moving on.
Okay.
All right, we have some chili pepper rockfish and some boccaccio. I saw a green striped just before we sat down.
I like visualizing the uplift that guy was just describing about.
Can you
the
zoom
faults.
on below the lasers, right to the right of there? Yes, it looks like a pluribranch. I haven't seen one of those yet. So it's like a, just to the left there with snuggled up to those little rockfish.
Aw.
So it's a type
Smushy.
Let me get settled, Wayne, and then we can get a full zoom.
I really like that nudibranch.
You don't have to zoom all the way out, but just like a half zoom till I get settled. I can center it with a half zoom and then.
Sounds good.
It seems particularly unbothered by the rockfish crashes.
That should be good for full zoom.
All right.
Full-ish.
So it's a pluribranch type of sea slug related to nudibranchs, but different.
How do you spell that?
Pluribranch, so Pleuro.
Okay.
And then like branch.
Yeah. New to me. I'm excited.
Thank you. Good image of that.
Looks like it's a voracious predator on other opistobranchs, which are other types of sea slugs, I believe.
I never would have associated voracious with that species. So Jenny, it's always nice just to have a reminder of, you know, where we are and why the Greater Farallones is such a special marine system.
Well, we are just north of, well, quite a few miles north of San Francisco off the Sonoma coast in the Greater Farallones National Marine Sanctuary, which is a federally designated area, part of the Office of National Marine Sanctuaries, which is part of NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And we are in an area of the sanctuary that was added to the original sanctuary in 2015. And we haven't been able to explore this area before. So this is, you know, getting to know the habitat, characterizing it a bit. Also, one of the objectives of the time we're spending in the Greater Farallones region up here south of Point Arena is to analyze the habitat and the species that are here to provide information to the Pacific Fisheries Management Council. And that council in the United States is the body that manages fishing. In our area, it's the Pacific Fisheries Management Council, but in other areas of the United States, they have other regional fishery management councils. It's part of the Magnuson-Stevens Act for fisheries management, that fisheries are regionally managed. And multiple agencies and constituents participate as part of that council. For NOAA, the National Marine Fisheries Service is our representative on the council. So we're providing information about this habitat and the species, as this area, I'm not sure exactly where we are right now, but some areas in this Point Arena South are being considered to be added, and some areas are being considered to be taken away from a designation of habitat called essential fish habitat, which it sounds pretty much like it is very essential to fisheries, supporting populations, supporting habitat where fish can reproduce, where there's lots of food, good habitat for them to survive. And they evaluate these types of habitats every few years. And so the sanctuary can provide information about the habitat in the sanctuary to that deciding body to help inform them make the best decisions.
So the fault here is taking a bend, and we're going to need to head pretty much east to stay on the scarp.
Yeah, roger, can do.
This whole stretch of coast is very productive in terms of lots of food. We have a strong upwelling system here, primarily in the spring and the summer months, where cold water comes up from the depths and helps and brings nutrients with it from the seafloor, and those nutrients help fertilize phytoplankton, which are the base of the food web, and zooplankton benefit from that. All the fishes and invertebrates benefit from that, and everybody starts reproducing, and the water just becomes a big
stew.
Let's get a shot of this rock.
These are Metridium anemones, these frilly white puffy clouds.
These rocks are so densely settled. Every inch seems to be claimed territory.
That's an indication of the productivity in the ocean here, because there's habitat for things to settle out on and to benefit.
Can we zoom on that top anemone? There's
the darker one?
No, the light one on the top that's just went out of screen at the top of the...
Oh, the tallest one?
Yeah, the tallest one.
Okay. Stand by.
What's all the stuff swimming around it?
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, the spores?
I was wondering if it was, or if it was little
let's see.
crustacean type things.
All right.
Seem like they're swimming.
Those guys. Let's see.
Could those be little larval fish?
Yeah,
or
it seems
krill?
like zooplankton and how it dances.
It just caught my eye because it was like a cloud around the anemone.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Okay, we can zoom out.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, do you see that little fish down on that rock with the big eyes?
Yeah. Oh, I think that...
this guy?
It's a bit lower. Yeah.
Okay, hold
right.
on. He's at a different distance.
There you go.
Oh, I see him.
He's doing a good job hiding from you.
Is that a comb? What do they call that? Comb.
That guy.
And the tiniest but mightiest sea star.
That is tiny. You can kind of see the little floaty things do appear to be swimming.
It's a fun zoom. Lots of little stuff to
I got
see.
a little bit more. Let's see. There we go. Bye, little guy.
All right, so moving along to the east. I see some skate eggs or shark eggs on that bottom, on that rock as well below the fish.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this rock.
Yeah.
It's like a mini bank.
Well, I was watching the watch that came on after us last night, and shortly after they started, they came across a flapjack octopus.
This is like they're all just mocking me now. I go on a dinner break, they pop up. I get off shift, they hang out and say hi. That's cool.
Sure.
Do rockfish migrate?
No, they don't. As adults, they don't migrate. They've actually found that rockfish tend to like to stay where they are.
Wonder how long he's been there.
So as juveniles, they are in the plankton, and then they will eventually settle out as juveniles to a more benthic habitat, whether that's the kelp forest or rocky reefs or the mud bottom, and then they'll tend to stay in that area for their adult life.
Got scared.
And then some of these sessile organisms that we're seeing are organisms that live their adult life attached to one location. What are some of the, I guess, like cues that they use to help them choose which of these rocks they attach to and settle on for their adult lives?
Good question. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely looking for the right habitat, whether that's mud or rock, but I don't know how they find that.
You can see all the cloud of, we're not exactly sure what, but wow. They do seem to have little fat cavities. They're all like very front heavy, which is common to a lot of zooplankton.
This is neat. I've never seen this before.
They're very, very white. So if I turn the light up at all, it wants to oversaturate very quickly. see. All right, you ready? Let's see what we can find. Yeah, there's some of them are crawling on the surface.
Yeah, landed.
I'm thinking amphipods.
Yeah. Cause, yeah, one definition of plankton is that you're kind of just subject to the currents around you. You can do vertical movements, but kind of swimming against a current's more challenging. These guys seem to have some propulsion and the choice to just relax. They have little legs, it looks like.
My eyes are still warming up. I'm still trying to see if its legs are thin.
Yeah, the ones on the white looks like legs.
Okay, coming wide. Okay, whose job is it to count those? Wow, there.
I will say one of the cooler things is just taking a, small amount of water from the ocean and looking at all of the tiny life that is microscopic. So all that plankton and both phyto and zoo.
Just a bit. Pushing it.
It would be cool to see those guys under a magnifying glass too, I bet. Or a microscope, excuse me.
Looks like we have to come left a bit to get back to the scarp. I think we're down at the base of it here.
Copy that. Coming left.
Left.
Sonar showing 10 meters away. We'll see what happens.
These guys seem to be swimming with us.
They sure are.
We seem to be the chow wagon.
I don't know if it got passed along from the last watch, but when one of the data engineers is up, we have a computer monitor issue. We've got a duplicated computer monitor here at the science bench, and so we were hoping Justin could get us fixed up.
That was not passed along, but we can,
What are the symptoms?
It's just, so Jenny's monitor, left monitor, and my left monitor are the same. I'm controlling that screen, and she has to look at what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
we have any KVM experts in the room?
Everybody's looking at me.
Because you're probably the chief geek here, IT/navigator.
Jack of all trades. Miles can do it all.
Looks like that zig was a fail, huh? Let's go back to a southeast heading.
Southeast, roger.
While we do that, everybody check your microphone position. We're getting some breathing noises. We can't identify who it's coming from.
What kind of noises?
Breathing. We're picking up breathing.
Roger.
Follow those fish.
It's looking pretty flattish out there too. According to Mr. Mesotech.
This is what we wanted, the Herc's data. As long as I can control this one. It's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we'd have to be down at the bottom of the scarp to see anything on the sonar.
Did you do it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Miles. We're all set back here now.
Excellent.
$5, please.
Are these the same fish, the rockfish that were sleeping on our last watch? Or
I think
at
we're seeing
dusk?
some different species than we saw earlier. We definitely didn't have any Picacho.
Yeah, these guys that aren't moving look the split nose, I think.
These, I think, are the chili peppers and let's see, sharp chins.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a nice feature if it wasn't dusted.
I always like noticing the form of fish and the function that that form takes on. So these rockfish, their mouth is pointed up, and it kind of likely helps them eat from this bottom locale. Are there any other kind of form functions that you're noticing about the rockfish, Danny and Jenny?
I was just noticing that based on what we saw last night with them kind of torpedoing to the bottom. They're well shaped for that.
All right. One at a time.
Well, they use there's a green stripe. They use their pectoral fins to kind of help them perch on the bottom.
And they have a little ventral fin too, I believe, to help with that. Guy, I'm curious with this type of a zone, which fault are we closest to in this region right here?
Well, it's pretty far off of the San Andreas, but it's probably a splay of the San Andreas.
Which starts offshore and comes to our land through Tomales Bay, which is in Marin County.
Goes right through the property that our office is located on.
Oh, good.
We do a lot of earthquake planning. And through San Francisco, and then goes offshore again somewhere.
It's thought of as a simple single fault, but the San Andreas fault system is pretty complex, and there are a lot of splays that come off of it. There's a whole other fault called the Hosgri fault that is further offshore of the San Andreas. So the motion of the continents is taken up by more than just one structure.
So a splay is like another fault, but not a full fault.
Right. It's a crack in the microplate between two larger faults. Takes up some of the deformation, but the main deformation would be along the San Andreas and the Hosgri.
Let's see if we can zoom in on that skate.
Zooming in. All right.
Let's see if this one has any parasites.
He looks pretty clean.
Oh, it's got some on its nose. I think it's a long
it
nose.
does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Let's see what's going on.
Well, good thing his eyes go the other way. Sometime about...
And with the San Andreas fault line, when there is activity within the tectonic plates, how does that manifest?
Great, that's good, thank you.
Underwater. We kind of only talk about the repercussions for on land, but what changes would you see underwater?
Well, you get displacement of features and uplift on one or the other side of the fault. It also could trigger submarine landslides.
Hagfish.
And submarine landslides are what exactly?
Just like on land when the slope fails and a big mass of mud and rock move down slope, bury roads and houses. Here they just pile up on the seafloor.
I see.
Except underwater they travel further because they don't have as much friction due to the water.
Mm-hmm. One of our viewers is curious about the coloring that we're seeing. I know it's a bit of a combo of video, lighting, and is there any other, can we talk a little bit about that? Why we're seeing more, maybe a greenish hue?
Yeah, what I can control on the camera controls, I typically will leave the color adjustments very neutral as I can, and then I will just decrease the overall amount of light or increase the amount of light that is allowed to enter the camera, and there's also an adjustment to darken the blacks. So when I darken the blacks like this, you can see it gives it a greener hue, and then when I compress the dynamic range this way, it kind of washes it out. So I'm really just controlling those two things. And after our white balance, we should be seeing true colors if those are the only two things that I adjust. Now I do have separate red, green, and blue, and I can artificially introduce colors like red and blue, but I typically don't do those, just to make sure that we're seeing.
Is that some debris there, or?
It's like a branch.
Woody debris.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, the perception of the colors are going to change simply with the positioning of the iris adjustment, which controls the amount of light coming in, and the compression knob. I'll add that it's a completely manual camera. There's nothing automatic about it. So as soon as our distance changes between the bottom or the subject, then it needs to be adjusted to let enough light in to be able to see anything.
I'm kind of interested in collecting some brachiopods just because we don't know that much about them. We don't know what they are. Do you think we could slurp them off a rock?
That we can.
Let's give that a try.
Yep, for a slurp.
This is my first slurp.
What's that four-legged starfish? Or it just has one leg buried? Okay. No, there's another one. They look like crosses. I see a lot of five-legged starfish, not so many four.
So if we just see one of these rocks that we could snuggle up against and see if we can get some of those brachiopods. This one might be a good place to try, if that looks good to you.
Looks good to me.
All right, let's come wide. There we go.
California Fish and Wildlife has a website about marine parasites. I'm doing a little digging in to find out more. It looks like we have some sort of a leech that we've been seeing on those rays are those skates.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm telling you, reading this does not make me want to eat fish. That might be the way to fish conservation. Let's just talk about the parasites.
All right.
I don't see any movement. Nobody can hear you.
So our ROV Herc that you're seeing in the frame right now, you're seeing one of Herc's manipulator arms. And we're about to witness a different sampling technique that Herc has the capacity to take biological samples through sucking it up via this device. It's kind of like a vacuum.
Hold on, I'll have to get the right jar. The previous slurp sample was jar 1, was it?
So we have slurp samples in jar 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Sample jar.
Yeah, I didn't see any I didn't see any jam going through there, did you?
Nope.
That's fast. Maybe it's clear water.
Just reading that brachiopods, they're very different.
Ready?
That they're not closely related to mollusks.